Ukrainian airliner with 176 passengers and crew on board crashed near Tehran's Imam Khomeini International Airport early on Wednesday. Iran's state television said all those on board, majority of them Iranians, were killed. According to the Iranian media, the Boeing 737-800 jet crashed near Tehran, a suburb southwest of capital Tehran shortly after the takeoff. The plane had taken off from Imam Khomeini International Airport when a fire struck one of its engines, said Qassem Biniaz, a spokesman for Iran's Road and Transportation Ministry. The pilot of the aircraft then lost control of the plane, sending it crashing into the ground, Biniaz said, according to the state-run IRNA news agency. Images posted on social media also indicated that there were no survivors. Earlier reports had said there were 180 people on board. The journalists of the Associated Press news agency who visited the site saw the debris scattered across farmlands. The dead lay among shattered pieces of the aircraft. Rescuers in masks shouted over the noise of hovering helicopters as they worked. According to Flyradar 24 flight tracker, the Ukrainian International Airlines Flight 752 was scheduled to take off at 5:15 a.m. Tehran time, 1:45 Greenwich Mean Time, for the Ukrainian capital of Kiev. However, the departure was delayed by almost an hour as it took off at 6:12 a.m., 2:42 Greenwich Mean Time. A video posted by Iran's ISNA news agency showed a faint glow of light flickering in the dark shortly before a huge fireball was seen. Photos posted online by ISNA also showed the wreckage of the plane scattered all over the ground, as emergency personnel inspected the area. An investigation team from the National Aviation Department was dispatched to the location after the news was announced. We will give more reports in upcoming bulletins. Reza Jafarzadeh, a spokesman of the Iranian Aviation Organization, told reporters in Tehran. 3 Britons are among the 176 people who died when a Ukrainian Boeing 737 crashed shortly after takeoff from Iran's main international airport, officials have said. Ukrainian PM Oleksiy Honchuruk said there were 167 passengers and 9 crew members on the Ukraine International Airlines flight to Kiev. Iranian state television said flight PS 752 came down due to what it described as technical problems after leaving Imam Khomeini Airport in Tehran. Footage showed the wreckage of the plane and smoldering engine parts strewn across a field as rescue workers with face masks recovered bodies of the victims. Ukraine's Foreign Minister Vadim Prystaiko said 82 Iranians and 63 Canadians were on board. Detailing the casualties on Twitter, he also said there were 11 Ukrainians, including 9 crew, 10 from Sweden, 4 passengers from Afghanistan, 3 from Germany, and 3 from Britain. The airline said most passengers were in transit and due to connect to other flights on arrival. More from World Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said he had instructed criminal proceedings to be opened over the crash and that the country will test the airworthiness of its entire civilian fleet. Speaking while on an official visit in Oman, he offered his condolences to the relatives of those killed and cut short the trip to return to the Ukrainian capital. The airline said it is doing everything possible to find out the cause of the crash and that it has suspended all flights to Tehran indefinitely. It said the plane had passed its last technical check on the 6th of January and that there was nothing wrong with it. The Ukrainian embassy in Tehran said engine failure was the cause. Iran's state-run news agency IRNA reported the pilot lost control when a fire broke out in one of the engines, quoting Qassem Biniaz, a spokesman for Iran's Road and Transport Ministry. The plane's black box has been recovered by Iranian rescue workers, Iran's state broadcaster IRIB reported. An investigation team is at the site of the crash on farmland in the southwestern outskirts of Tehran, civil aviation spokesman Reza Jafarzadeh said. Hossein Kolayvand, head of Iran's emergency services, told state television the plane was on fire when emergency services first arrived at the crash scene. The fire is so heavy that we cannot do any rescue. We have 22 ambulances, 4 bus ambulances and a helicopter at the site, he said. Dmytro Razumkov, Ukraine's parliament speaker, said in a statement on Facebook, "Our task is to establish the cause of the crash of the Boeing and provide all necessary help to the families of the victims."